Let's go back and recap. Hydraulic elevators. Oh, come on now. Have some fun. How many Kinkos had hydraulic elevators? Well, I think it was Yale University next to the chocolate factory. I think they had a hydraulic elevator. Baltimore City on the corner, right across the street from the Johns Hopkins Extension Center, Charles Center Towers, whatever. A nice little McDonald's. They had a hydraulic elevator. I think I wrote that policy paper there, and I know for a fact that I copied the Free Negro in Maryland by Brackett. And then George Washington University, Kinkos, they too had a hydraulic elevator, I'm almost positive. But did you know who owns that mall? George Washington University. So basically, I guess Kinkos paid them rent. Isn't that funny? They had a nice little popcorn store in there. Well, they sold other things, but they had movie popcorn. Now, there was supposed to be a 3-story Kinkos. That was the goal. I don't know who they would have bumped out, but Peterson was looking for a 3-story Kinkos. The manager of New York Avenue, he was going to be the manager of that 3-story Kinkos. The salesperson that I went to replace for what was supposed to be a week but ended up being months because she had the affair with the Boston manager, contacted mononucleosis. She was going to be the salesperson and I was going to be the marketing representative. Now, remember, when they banished me to Trinity Square, 204 Michigan Avenue, you either die or rise from Trinity. Well, I'm still alive. I said, wow. Look, there's like 4 feet of frontage. A window display. Bring a book to life. I was working on it. Foam core mounting. I just was going to decide what book would I bring to life. Marketing, you know. I just bring sunshine wherever I go. I don't know who rained on my parade or theirs because that's where we were at. I was sent to New York Avenue. I went to the Corcoran, my first exhibit, Warhol, Herring, and Disney. I went to it was brand new, the Women's Museum. And she said, you're going to be a writer. I didn't even have a pencil. Mary Cassett. Now let's try to piece together what happened. Well, Peterson had the entire territory for a lengthy period of time. Before I got there in 87, they said that she once ran that Kinko's, but don't let her near the counter because she fucks everything up. One guy, he used to move furniture for Congress, and he, more than anybody else, don't put her on the counter. Well, eventually, Kentucky decides it's time to divide the territory. And then we have Nova, Northern Virginia. But Peterson, she was all of it. Maybe even Syracuse. Could you imagine that? Art School of Business, Kinko's. Well, that's where she got her little diploma. Plus the one that she had from the University of Minnesota. She was a social worker. I saw the CLEP thing on the board, and I said on the door when I was banished and she was in charge, Trinity Square, 204 Michigan Avenue, I said, you are a social worker? Yes, I am. I take away children from bad mothers. Yeah, you like it doggy style and you do a little, yeah, I see that. Now we have Northern Virginia. So College Park will go become the regional manager of Northern Virginia. Now we need somebody for College Park. Georgetown will come to College Park. Oh, no, my mistake. American University, the dungeon. Ooh, no hydraulic. You go down about 12 stairs. And then upstairs there's some computers. The dungeon is what they call it. The dungeon came to College Park. And the dungeon is the son of Kentucky. And he, I think, graduated from California. Yep. Then time will pass. Baltimore goes to Stacy. So Baltimore is divided too. So we have Baltimore and we have Northern Virginia Nova, where I will apply for Crystal City. How are you going to sell this store? I thought it was a great answer. I spun around. This is not Happy. The Happy Place. I don't know why it keeps going to that episode and I don't watch it. It just rolls over after Days of Our Lives. Happy was Nelson Rockefeller's boat. Happy. If you go over the Tappan Zee Bridge, I don't call it the Mario Cuomo. It used to be there, the Happy. And then it wasn't. Anyway, so now Shanita will go to American University after she did what she needed to do at Trinity, which was fire the staff. Now, in Greenwich Village, when I was there, the way they did it was they abolished the graveyard shift, but I don't think that's really what happened there. No. Because now that KINKOS was not 24 hours. Really, nobody had to do anything but drive by. When the KINKOS went 24 hours nationwide, in Washington many were, I got a phone call from a journalist friend of mine. It came over the AP wire. What? KINKOS is 24 hours. That's interesting. Well, the good thing is I said, wow, maybe Mumia, when he was working at the newspaper for Oakland BPP, Black Panther Party, maybe he had access to like the AP wire and he learned a thing or two. That guy, he learned nothing. Trust me. My God. Anyway, so now Shanita goes to American University. I think it was Shanita who will banish John Howe because he got drunk and left work for a week. Missing in action. His punishment is to come to American University. To College Park. And eventually 3 profit shares. American University is now in College Park. 3 profit shares. I'm like in school full time. When I saw that people yelling at that counter, I should have done nothing but stay in that break room. But instead, and I got it. I said, hey, because when somebody tried to rob somebody at the counter in broad daylight at the KINKOS in College Park, they got the cameras and they had a meeting. And these are not to watch you people. This is for your protection. And furthermore, if something goes wrong with the job, we're going to track it back. And we're going to find out exactly what happened to the job. So I said immediately to the shift supervisor, let's go to the videotape. Not Marv Albert, who ended up biting somebody in the back. Was that not him? Or no, that was, what's his name? Warner from New York. Let's go to the videotape. Yeah, but Marv Albert, he did bite somebody in the back. He was hungry. I said, let's go to the videotape. We can't. I said, why? Because there's no video in the videotape. There's 3, none of them. And that's on me. So this lady, Gregory, what did you do? Because I'm letting this play out because I'm very interested. I don't know what are the laws. You see a video camera, you see them all over the place. There is no retention. I didn't tell anybody I got on that little bus in New Carrollton. Do you know how many laws were violated? They put that bus there on purpose and you know it. There is not a black person in, you know why that bus was there that way. It goes on a federal highway. Like I said, that's on you. You better not be related to Dick Gregory. And how does this white girl know who Dick Gregory is? Because I think Tom Hayden mentioned Dick Gregory. Maybe when he was embedded in Newark. So basically, when Henry Miller went on a road trip with Ratner, they asked for money, travel, because they're going to write a book. He asked for money. So did this Hayden asked for money from his publisher when he embedded himself in Newark because he knew trouble was going to happen. I'm just going to live there for 6 months a year and wait for it. Well, anyway, Dick Gregory, the comedian. And in my opinion, like a couple of months after he gives his little comedic thing, there's trouble. Dick Gregory. Well, this woman, Gregory, small world all the time. Now, this How is going to review me when I have not had a review in 3 years. Look, Sophia, this is the manager, College Park. I'm way behind. These people are mad at me. You're not getting a raise anyway. You make 11. You're the highest paid coworker in the country. Me and Edith, God rest her soul. They gave her the KINKOS at Howard University, finally. So, ultimately, he gives the review after the administrative leave, performance counseling leave. You'll be sent home 1 month without pay. She is yelling at me and going across the floor and slamming there's a 1-800 number to KINKOS. Nobody called. You gave Ventura too much first-hand information. There was a lawsuit. College Park accounts receivable will sue Ventura, California, because the accounts receivable, the invoices, were once handled by Kentucky, and then Kentucky had to give that to Ventura percentage, similar to the credit card machine. Initially, we didn't have a credit card machine because a credit card gets money. Anyway, so now KINKOS loses. Those invoices must be signed. If they're not signed by somebody in any office, the College Park will not pay. I am put in charge of those invoices. The accounts receivable is across from the police station. Route 1, across the street, accounts receivable. It's a lady who's married to a Greek, and her husband beats her. She's telling me all the bruises. Every month I got to go through this. One by one, she has to agree. I'm just saying, that takes balls. At the hearing, I brought the invoice. Oh, don't cover your own ass. I made a copy of that shit. As soon as I leave, not signed, $5,000. I said to Mr. Bailey, is that a little bit of money? Do you want to put this as evidence? You did not say at the beginning how we were going to do. Where's the copy machine? At New York Avenue, we had the produce convention at the Washington Convention Center. And we brought the Xerox machine. I didn't see a Xerox machine, bozo. Listen, I am above all of you and I know it. You have a problem with that? You shouldn't. You broke the law. Did I tell you people to break the law? You see, you're upset because Baltimore let me in all over that city and you don't know what to do about it. That's your problem. What are you, a chicken shit? Go to the catalog. There's a bus that used to take the social work students and faculty to Baltimore City. You're not telling me anything. You cost me a lot of money. If you were going to do this to me, don't make me write your papers, you idiots. And watch how you talk to me if I choose to talk to you. Because I find this fascinating if you have a problem. Really? You had cable that's not regulated. You had internet higher education or whatever you did with outer space law, not regulated, Cyriacs. Why do you think everybody went there? Because it's not regulated, idiots. They can talk about whatever they want and you're not going to do jack shit for what they did. Don't ever bother me for this form of communication. I'm not bothered. I am educational. Sign this, sign this, sign. I'm not signing anything. This that she wrote, the Social Security disability has it. I told Sophia Kurtzopoulos to clock out and go home. $11 an hour, you want to pay me? How many hours? $55? You force me now, I'm living in Baltimore. You force me to take Greyhound, Mark, or Amtrak. What's your problem now? I didn't tell you to do it. The Mark checks go to Pennsylvania. They're stamped on the back. You do it to yourself. I don't have to be afraid of anybody. Why? As far as I'm concerned, I did what I needed to do. Oh, please, people. Let's move on to this, all right? So basically, I go to the city of College Park and I get that account. I don't care if these people don't like what I brought them. Their job is to insert into the binder. Furthermore, there are certain inserts you don't get. They will do that on their own. It's private. So basically, you've made sure, what was I removed for? What were you getting ready to copy? Furthermore, less and less you are really, we don't want her anywhere around. I have eyes and ears all over the place behind my head. I fear none of you, right? Why should I? That KINKOS in White Plains, New York was going to be mine. Once again, you're Don Harold. He met all the key players of White Plains. You don't think he did? He's looking for territories, for space, for a KINKOS. That KINKOS was to be mine. I want you closer to your house. Do not, please. Oh, yeah. I've had no work experience. I'm stupid. Grow up. Truly grow up. There is nothing that you do that's going to bother me. Truly. You have no counter experience. I said on my resume, high volume. What are you people? 10 people at the counter. You're going to carry over problem number 1 if it was a problem to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? You are comical people. You truly are. Went to the Platt's office, got the documents I wanted. You will explain this to me. That's my learning contract. Housing? What's the matter? Little Mr. Spiliadis wants to talk Greek and I might understand him? You know, if that Gus Mitchell was Greek, that's like beyond. I am a guardian to the entire city population. I hope not. And really, I hope you're not. And I've tried to find out. Truly, I have. A religious library. Nice lady. She spent a lot of time. She puts that name Mitchell to Pittsburgh, a restaurant. Might be him. Who knows? Oh, I won't let go of that one. Why should I? I'm a history major, and my concern is Baltimore. Why not? How can this Boston Latin police powers starts in public health? You should have that all over the place. It should just be embedded. Nobody has to worry about it. That's how segregation started. They said it was public health. He should remove his name and just say that on the side of the building. Never again. I can say whatever I want. So basically, I said to the two of them, how? Oh, come on, who does that with a straight face? You get drunk and don't go to work for a week and your banishment is a profitable store that I helped make profitable? And the other one, your sidekick, Henderson, she plays golf because she wants to be a pro. She's in Florida 4 or 5 months out of the year. And that's all right. Government major that she was. I was government and history, a double major, with an interest in international relations. And the only person who never laughed at that was that guy on the airplane going to San Francisco. You're going to be a diplomat. And then he left because I said, I'm 21. And he said, oh, you're too young. Oh, my God. He's the only person that ever spoke to me. Nice conversation over some Perrier. Just telling you. Yuppers. As I said to the two of them, you have been placed in a very awkward situation, but you have not written anything that is reflective. As I said to them, you're telling me everybody wrote a review on Sophia. Everybody, including the computer person. Yup. Let me tell you about the computer person, poor Mrs. Rogers. She founded Open University. White hair, black glasses. And they say she founded it from her basement. Open University. Well, it appears that Mrs. Rogers, she was a poet. I don't know what she wrote. I didn't look. But she was pissed because they left her poetry on the desk and somebody stole it and she sued. So you're telling me even the computer person had a problem with me. The extent my head didn't pop that day and my head's not going to pop at all. But don't ever think that I need to shut up. Ever in life. That's not happening. I think I handled myself very well at that hearing. And you know very well every single school in Maryland, before they set their children out anywhere, they're fully versed. I saw that table. That's my Thanksgiving table. You pledged it at least. That's a good thing. As I said, where is Noel Atwell? Representing the disabled? Did I send you an MRI? You know how long it took me to get that MRI? This young doctor said nobody deserves to suffer like you're suffering, Sophia. I'm going to give you an MRI. How can some person, I now have 2 doctors that graduated from New York Medical College, one directly from that campus who I left, and the other one from the New York campus. He laughed and said, "Oh my God, they did that to you?" I said, "Yes, they did." He said, "I went there once. I didn't like it. I went to UMBC once too, and I didn't like it." Susie was in love with a Greek boy. She lived across the hall in Montgomery East. She wanted to know everything Greek. I said, "I can't help you. I don't know very much. You know more if you've dated him." So Steve, not mega rich Chrissy from Friends. Well, not really. She's impoverished, a white girl. I don't know. And they took her in, the Friends people. Mega rich he is. Oh, that poor boy. He gave me a ride home once. He was going to visit his aunts in Connecticut. He gave her his mother's ring. His mother and father were killed in an airplane crash. He gave her the ring. And do you know what she said to him? "Oh, Steve, it'll be fine once we change the steading. I know there's a big stone in there." Poor him. Mega rich. Yeah, you've really done nothing to me. I'm just explaining, and your KINKOS, it wasn't KINKOS for a very long time. Nothing to do with me. And when you sent me home for 1 month without pay, was I entitled to unemployment? And when you sent me home 1 week without pay, was I entitled to unemployment? Insubordination. Wow. How many people working for KINKOS? Did John Howe from American University get insubordination? This coming from the social worker who just took her CLEP test? Oh, I'm afraid of you. I hope they taught you something at the University of Minnesota. Is that Hubert Humphrey? I used to look in Lafrac Hall. There's nothing else on that sticker board except Hubert Humphrey School of Public Policy. You can rip it off every time. It's not going to change. The Hubert Humphrey School. Let's see. Yeah, very funny. And making me walk in all that snow. You're hilarious. And at the end of that student conduct code hearing, did you say to me, "Be careful, there's a blizzard coming"? I said everything that needed to be said at that hearing. Everything. If I changed my major to business and used KINKOS Graphics Corporation versus Basic Books, you still wouldn't be happy. Well, at that time, I knew the name Proskauer. Proskauer is with Kennedy. Archives, Proskauer. Proskauer's pamphlet is the one that says Wagner's advertising. That's Proskauer. Do not waste my time. You have done something and you cannot undo it. So, you declared Democratic Socialists in 1993 somewhere in the Diamondback. To define it, why don't you ask Steny Hoyer? Why don't you ask Mr. Steele, Michael? Ask him what he told the Republicans when he was in charge of them. Do not sit there on TV and say, "I don't know how this happened." Your Sade Bedenois, she's from College Park. Her major was like something agricultural economics. What do? Come there and teach people at night? Like you're on the news in the day, but Like, you're so much smarter. Why do you have that job and just talk fluff? You all just talk fluff. You're fluffy. Well, I suggest you grow up, because this is on all of you. And I have yet to see anybody from Elton John, Sting, anybody else. You have known that city, or how much of that city was yours. I have not seen anybody, not even Boy George. He did a vegetarian cookbook. Why don't you say what Pier 54 was like when you... Haircut 100, I recall them, Pier 54. I know. You're so big. We built this city on rock and roll. Yeah, I know. You'll get over it. Just fix it. I'm sure they'll let you eat for free. I bought an $8 donut, a brownie, and I swear to God there was a gold bullet this big. I just threw it in the trash. Bye.